Okay, so I am the analyzer, and the topic we're going to be covering today is going to be pretty much speculation on Candace against the universe. And I know it's a bit late into the game to be doing this, but I think we have a lot of information now that will allow us to make accurate speculation. Of course, I have only until the movie comes out on the 28th of this month to do the speculation. So I can't really wait much later, because I think they'll probably release more information in the days coming up to it. But I don't want to wait that long to have to compile everything and all that, so I'm just going to do it based on what we have. But we do have a pretty good amount right now, so I think this video will go somewhat smoothly. Okay, so before I talk about what I think we will see, I'll talk about what I hope and we'll see and what I would like to see. And first off, we're going to start with this poster and tell you what I like and do not like about it. So I do not like this blue alien design next to Candace. I think the build's very similar to her, and I hope it's not just doesn't seem like a very lovable character. It seems like a character that I would really have a lot of disdain for. Maybe that's the point. Maybe it's supposed to be an antagonist. Maybe you're supposed to hate the design. I don't know yet. And then for the green aliens next to the mushroom, I'm not a huge fan of their design either, but I like it better than the blue alien. And then the real strange creature that Vanessa and Dr. Doofenshmirtz is holding on to, I think that design's actually pretty good. It's what I would expect from aliens. I'm not a fan of the superhuman-like aliens. I think it'd be a lot cooler if they had octopus-shaped aliens or ones with elephant trunks or something unique. I think it would make the characters much more unique and lovable, and I would be able to not say, well, they're aliens, so they're not that different from humans. But regardlessly, we'll have to wait for the movie to see. Maybe we're supposed to not like that blue alien design. Maybe that's going to be an antagonist. We don't know enough yet to say whether they're good characters or bad characters, because the personalities can all be great, even if they don't look cool. They could even make that point of the movie if they were really so inclined to. And then it seems like from all the promotional material we have gotten, they're going back to the Season 1-esque eyebrowless Isabella design, which is an interesting choice, certainly, but I'm super happy they did. I think that design looks 10 times better than the one with eyebrows. Although I don't like that she's going to be in a Fireside Girl uniform. I'd rather her be in a classic pink uniform. So I think that design's better. It's more fitting of a character, I feel like. But with it being such a grand movie, and even though there's been talks that we might get another Phineas and Ferb movie after this, or something like that, the fact that this might be our last appearance of Phineas and Ferb, that's really what makes it sad to me that we're not even going to see her in her original character design. But I understand it's grand, so we gotta have the Fireside Girl uniform. So that's pretty much it for this poster. And again, it's going to be on Disney Plus August 28th, so a couple days after this video drops. Okay, so obviously, other than the things I mentioned in the poster, I want to see the original design Isabella in a pink uniform, or a pink dress, or whatever you want to call it, somewhere through this movie. I think that'd be great, because it looks like the animation is going to be much smoother and much crisper than the normal series animation, so I'd like to at least see all the characters in their original outfits, in this movie, simply because it's going to have the best animation, it seems like. And then I hope, for an entire third of the movie, we're not even on the Grand Adventure. I just want to see them interacting with each other and living their daily lives. It seems like we may actually get that in this movie, simply because of the Such a Beautiful Day song. First of all, that whole song is just their regular lives. And then, they're talking about this game that they're going to later that day and all that. So that, shows that there's going to be a lot of just regular life stuff. And I think that's where a series like Regular Show and Phineas and Ferb really excel. Is not so much in the grand parts, as much as we just feel like we're hanging out with the characters as friends. Like, just hang out with Mordecai and Rigby or hang out with Phineas and Ferb. I think that's where the series really excels. So I think I definitely want to see that in this thing. And it seems like we might actually get, more regular things. More time hanging out with them as regular people than we really have thus far in the series with, like, the game and that. We can see more of their interactions than we typically could. At least I'm hoping so. And then I'd like to see a Milo Murphy cameo somewhere. I don't think it's going to happen, unfortunately. But maybe just like in the background as a background character or something falling. And then them not even noticing or something. That would be great. Then I would like, this kind of is two-part. I would like either for Stacy to recognize that she knows who Perry actually is with Agent P and all that. Maybe try to hide it from Phineas and Ferb so they don't find out or something. Or at least some kind of indication of where in the summer this takes place, because it could be before she found out too. And then since they're in space, I think it'd be nice to at least have a mention of Meep. We may or may not get that, but those are some interesting things I think we may see, or at least possible that we could see, that I really want to see. So now I'm going to go into things that I think we'll likely see, things that we probably will see, and what I think we'll see, more so than just what I want to see. Okay, so here are some things I think we will see. I think we'll see a lot of the lore around the aliens. We have a bit between Meep and with Milo Murphy's Law. We had the whole entire second season about aliens. So we do have well-known existence. Aliens exist in the Phineas and Ferb lore before this movie, but I'm hoping, and I'm thinking they will, in fact, go into more detail about that and all of that in this movie. And I think we'll see likely a new side to Candace we haven't really seen before, because right now we know she's popular, she likes to be popular and, typical teen stuff, hang out at the mall, text her friends. We know that she clearly wants to buzz Phineas and Ferb, and we know that she's in love with Jeremy. Other than that, we haven't got too much of her character. I'm not going to say she's not fleshed out, but she's not as fleshed out as I'd like her to be. And I think we'll get some kind of new development, a new side to her in this movie. Maybe a more serious side since she's abducted. And then we'll get to see her bounce off Vanessa, since it appears like Vanessa's going to be abducted with Candace. Of course, maybe they should call the title Candace and Vanessa Against the Universe or something, or maybe, I don't know, Vanessa will get rescued by different sports early on and it'll only be in the first half or whatever, I don't know. But I think it'll be interesting to see Vanessa interact with the group more. I've always loved that. Maybe you'll see some more, at least hints towards Ferb and Vanessa's future relationship. That would also be phenomenal and really help tie the series together more. Because there's only so much they can do since this takes place mid-summer. They can't exactly add too much to the characters without it seeming weird. They can't make them come to a new realization or anything like that unless it's super minor. But we can certainly add more hint, more foreshadowing, stuff like that to future events like Phineas and Isabella or Ferb and Vanessa and all of that. So I think that would be pretty interesting. And I just saw this while recording this, of course. But I think we might actually see if it's a football game, since we know they're going to a game of some kind. Maybe you'll see Zach from Milo Murphy's Law there or something, too. That would also be how they could throw in that cameo. But anyways, besides that point, I think this is obviously going to have the smoothest animation of any Phineas and Ferb project. Yeah, and I'm hoping it's going to be a lot like Across the Second Dimension, except a lot less dark, a lot more lighthearted, and a lot less serious. That's really what I'd want out of this. With such a beautiful day coming in the way it did, with the lighthearted music and all that, I think we could really have the best Phineas and Ferb product we've ever had. And of course we know from the Walk Back song that the voices have slightly changed since the series has ended. Specifically Ferb's, clearly, because he got a new voice actor. But other than that, Phineas has a bit of a deeper voice in this, it seems like. At least his singing voice, his regular voice sounds about the same. But, so the voice is all going to be slightly different. I hope that Candace still seems spot on. So I'm hoping that Isabella, we know Doofenshmirtz is still spot on too. Belgique, Buford, I hope they all have the exact same voices as they did, and at least not too different. Isabella's is real because we might see, with them going back to the season 1 eyebrowless design, they might go back to the deeper season 1 voice. I hope they don't. I like the season 4 voice the most. But I would halfway be expecting to see that in this movie as well. And now I do wonder how they're going to justify going to some kind of sports game, at least I'm assuming it's sports, in the middle of summer, because normally that's not when the seasons are, but I don't know, maybe it's like baseball season or something is in summer for adult school, I don't know. Regardless, it's kind of weird that we've never seen them go to a sports tournament until now, or a sports game. So yeah, we'll see how they handle that, but I don't know, I'm guessing maybe the Fireside Girls are taking part in that, and that's why I think Isabella's in the uniform she's in, because she goes over before the game to, hang out Phineas and Ferb, and she has to, I don't know, kind of like a band in a football game, do something with that, maybe like cheerleader or something, the Fireside Girls, I don't know. But we'll see how that goes and how they handle that, and the justification, if they even have one, for why she's actually in the uniform she's in, because as we know, a lot of times, even when the other Fireside Girls are in the classic Fireside Girl uniforms, she's not. She's normally still in the original uniform, which is, I think, going to be touched upon in the movie, clearly. And then besides that, we might see some Doofenshmirtz getting to know Phineas and Ferb, because it kind of did seem like one day it was just, we don't know this guy. Hey, this is Vanessa's dad. Maybe they'll actually officially meet him canonically here, and that will just be like at that point to where they start knowing who he is. Maybe it's from this adventure specifically that they in fact know who he is. So that's one thing, and then I think it's very likely. So Dan and Swampy had actually had a podcast where they talked about maybe more Phineas and Ferb movie, those talks of it. I half expect that they already know about another project with Phineas and Ferb, and they just haven't said anything yet because it's going to be revealed in the movie itself, because we've had a lot of foreshadowing about that. When Candace says, and more nonsense coming soon, of course, we're back, almost kind of implies that they're back. At least I certainly hope so. So I'm thinking maybe we'll get some kind of confirmation of something else at the end of the movie, like during the credits, because that would be pretty cool, certainly. And they've had some foreshadowing of it, but again, it's all foreshadowing that's not confirmed, because when she says, other nonsense coming soon, we see pictures of things that happen, presumably later in that summer. So I guess that is a good hint of when it takes place. But also, that could be a hint of maybe that's what she's talking about, and maybe that's not going to be a new season or a new movie after Candace Kid's universe. But I think they have just enough foreshadowing there that I'm going to predict that they're going to release that in the movie. Some kind of announcement saying that there's going to be more Phineas and Ferb coming. That's just my personal prediction, though, however. And then besides that, I think pretty much the layout of the movie, we're going to see Candace riding a bike, probably opening kind of like the thing with them surfing on asteroids did for Mission Marvel. That's going to be the opening. And then we're going to move in to her going home, seeing what Phineas and Ferb doing with that giant thing that turns into lint or dust or whatever that we see in that one trailer, her failing to bust them. And I don't know, probably similar to What Do It Do, that episode where something lands in the front yard and then Candace thinks it's the boys and she goes check it out. Similar thing, except there's going to be Vanessa there for some reason. I wonder why that is. Maybe it's to see Ferb, maybe it's to see Candace, we don't know yet. She might have been hanging out with them and, something that would be pretty interesting dynamic, considering we haven't actually seen Vanessa go out of her way to spend time with any of the cast yet. except Candace on a few occasions. So that's going to be interesting. Maybe she's going to be, oh, I'm going to go return this library book or some random stuff, or seeing if Candace is going to the game or whatever. Regardlessly, so I'm assuming that's when they get abducted. They go over to that. They get abducted, and then we already see from trailer Phineas and Ferb see this thing taken off, and they're like, where is she going? And then we see also that Ferb finds her on the laptop, so they're probably going to... We seen him snap a photo, so I'm assuming he's using that to calculate the trajectory in which the spacecraft is heading and all that, and they're going to run some advanced calculations and find out probably what planet they're going to, and then they'll go into, So we do see they go through a portal and they end up at Doofenshmirtz. So I'm not exactly sure that's going to happen. Maybe they build a portal that's supposed to take them to the planet, and then Doofenshmirtz builds like a needle that intercepts things from that planet or something, and then maybe they go through it, and of course they get intercepted due to Doofenshmirtz interception needle or whatever. And then of course that's when they're gonna see Dr. Heinz Doofenshmirtz, and he's gonna say, yeah, was Vanessa with you? Maybe they only know each other, or maybe they mention Girl in Black or something. They're like, oh, Vanessa, yeah, that's my daughter. That's when he shows him his space travel and aid or whatever. They'll give him so like a spaceship. It says, yeah, it's branding. And then, of course, we're going to go on the adventure and all that. We really haven't gotten much about the adventure yet. I'm assuming those green guys are going to be on Phineas and Ferb's real team trying to help them out. I'm assuming that blue alien's going to be Neil, Candace, and Vanessa most of the, movie, and maybe she's the antagonist, or maybe she's trying to help Candace and Vanessa. I think it's more likely, though, that she's going to be an antagonist. That's going to be a foil to them, almost. But we'll see, of course. And then, of course, we're going to end up finding her and rescuing her, because that's what they do. And then we have that one shot with her with, the weapon thing where she says, it's me against the universe. Clearly saying the title. I do wonder how exactly, because it seems like it's going to be a pretty peaceful planet with the green guy. So I don't exactly know how that's going to come out. Maybe she says something that offends them. They are aliens, are going to have a different culture, and I hope they really focus on the differences between the human and alien culture and stuff. Really make them seem not so human, because that's why I don't like the designs. They seem like they'll just carbon copy humans with a different skin tone, and I don't like that. Maybe that's going to be a big plot point in the movie, that Candace accidentally offends them because she doesn't understand the culture. And I wonder how they're speaking English, too, because we know with meat that English is not some universal language in the Phineas and Ferb world. So it's going to be interesting that they know English automatically, unless maybe they just, hopefully give some kind of explanation that instead of creating a plot hole. But regardlessly, so then, of course, we're going to have some reason that they're angry at Candace or something, that she's going to have to go against the planet before she gets rescued from Phineas and Ferb. And that's why it's going to be Ferb against the universe. And it looks like Perry's going to be involved, too. I'm just going to assume Alka's going to find out that Candace or Vanessa was abducted and say, hey, we have a human abduction, take care of it, Agent P. And that's how that's going to happen. It's still going to be weird, though, because normally you would imagine they would send a different agent anytime that Doofenshmirtz and Phineas and Ferb are going to be together like that. That's a really sensitive situation, because if Doofenshmirtz sees Perry, I understand he's in combat. He's like, oh, look, a platypus, because we know that in Across the Second Dimension. But, still, it seems like an awkward situation from a strategic standpoint to send someone like Perry, and I don't know why they don't send someone like Agent CH, which is the Chupacabra, or Peter, or someone, but we're going to see they're going to send Perry in, because we got to have Perry as a major part of this movie, and not to mention he is the best Alka agent. So yeah, I think after the whole thing goes down, maybe they'll, instead of, being hostile and they just leave, I don't see that being how they end a Phineas and Ferb movie. I assume the way they're going to end it is they're going to talk about whatever misunderstanding or whatever caused them to be angry at Candace, and maybe Phineas and Ferb, maybe Ferb speaks the language or something because he's Ferb. Or they build a translator like Meep's Universal Mustache. And then they're going to talk to them and be like, yeah, I'm sorry, she didn't understand that word meant this in this language or whatever. And they're going to say, oh, okay, we're sorry about attacking you, and then they'll be friends. And then I'm assuming the movie's going to end at the game they're talking about. And with, whether it's a football game, a baseball game, some other kind of game, we're just not sure. I'm assuming it's going to end with that, and maybe Candace telling Jeremy about her adventure she went on with the aliens and whatever. I don't know. But I think that's pretty much what I would say the rundown for what I would expect out of Candace Against the Universe. So if you want to start a discussion in the comments about things you want to ask, do you think it will happen? Do you think it won't happen? What do you think about this character or any of this? Then I'd be glad to start that discussion anytime, even if it's on one of my other videos. If you think of it, just go ahead and always ask me questions about discussions and stuff. I love to talk about this kind of stuff. And with that being said, I am out.